It's 7:15. Welcome back. This is Morning Live. Now, the Community Schemes Ombud Service, or CSOS, was established in terms of the Community Scheme Ombud Service Act of 2011 to regulate the conduct of parties within community schemes, that is actually people living in housing schemes, be it townhouse or apartments, where the use of and responsibility for land and buildings is shared. Now, Human Settlements is responsible for this entity that assists applicants who are materially affected by a dispute for mediation or adjudication. Now, Themba Mthethwa is the Chief Ombudsman, and he joins us now. Very good morning to you, Themba. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, take us through, what are community schemes?
Community schemes are any schemes where there is shared living space, or even where there is a shared land. Like, of course, I've just mentioned, if it's in apartments, it could have been estates, could even be equatorial estates where people keep horses. Any form of shared living or even shared use of land is defined as a community scheme in terms of the Act.
Okay, having said that, what prompted the creation of your organization?
What prompted the creation of CSOS has been basically that there has not been any proper regulations within the community schemes in the country. Where disputes arose within the schemes, people will either go on private arbitration, which costs them money. People will definitely have to go to court, where they will wait for quite some time now before the matter get heard. So with the creation of CSOS, we are full-time mediators. We can even mediate. We can conciliate. We can then do the adjudication ourselves at a shorter and much cheaper way of doing settling the disputes within the community schemes.
So do homeowners now have to rope in the service of a private arbitrator in case of disputes?
They don't have to, because we're there to provide that service as an independent government entity to provide that service. They don't have to go on private arbitration, no.
Okay. So your operations came into effect towards the end of last year. So have you dealt with any cases already?
We have dealt with so many cases. Even when we started around about 2015 October, when I was appointed, we have done a lot of conciliation, just over 1,000 voluntarily. Of course, it was not until around about October last year that the Act was promulgated, the President signing the regulations, and the Act fully starting. In fact, we have been doing conciliations all along. The first thing now that we have to do is arbitration, because now by law we are entitled to arbitrate on matters. The first case we're supposed to do was in December last year, but fortunately the case was resolved by the parties themselves in a way that is quicker and so forth. Now even the existence of CSOS acts as a sense of ensuring that the parties can actually resolve the case among themselves quicker. It's more of a deterrent as well in that context.
So what sort of cases do you deal with on a regular basis?
The cases, the Act provides us about 7 issues that we can deal with: the meetings, the resolutions passed at the general meeting, and more any other financial aspects. I remember when we started, people thought we were just going to be listening to cases relating to neighbors' pets, but that has not been the case. The most cases, the majority of the cases relates to financial aspects, the conflict between the body corporates and the people who live in, about the statements, about the levies, about special levies that are being issued, and so forth. That's the majority of the complaints or applications that we currently having or getting from the people there in the estate, in the homeowners association, and so forth.
Are the disputes difficult to resolve?
The disputes are difficult to resolve. It is for these reasons that it also includes us as part of our mandate to do education part. Educate the trustees, the body corporate, and the people that own the properties to understand the rules of the body corporate as well. because some of the things emanates from not understanding what are the rules of the body corporates. And if the rules are there, people don't know that they've been part of making the rules. So one of our education involves encouraging and the owners to attend the AGMs every year and raise their complaint if they want the amendment of the rules and so forth, so that there could be less disputes coming from. Some of the disputes, of course, are not resolved with conciliation. They have to go to arbitration, where CSOS has the power of making binding decisions, just like the magistrate court or the high court. So they are difficult. Okay. And more so because we're trying to be quick in doing this situation and solving the problems. What happens is that the decision of the arbitrator that makes a decision is not appealable, unless, of course, the adjudicator has misdirected her or himself on the question of law. But you can't appeal on the facts, because we're trying to make people unable to defer to delay the proceedings of CSOS.
Yeah. And clearly this service will not come for free. So remind us of your processes of how you're going to be financed.
Okay. The owners themselves within the body corporates, within the schemes, within of course the cooperatives, the retired villages and timeshare will be making contribution based on the amount of their levies. If you pay a levy up to 500 rand, you don't pay anything. But above 500 rand, you only pay 2% of the levy that you pay, up to a maximum of only 40 rand. So basically the same as the service is coming to you for free, then the amount will be paying lawyers and the arbitrators, or you used to pay for the lawyers and the arbitrators before. Okay. So the system will come almost for free. In order to also...
All right, just briefly, yes. How can people get hold of you?
The people can get hold of us in our website, www.csos.org.za. We have walk-in offices in respect of Gauteng, Durban, and Western Cape. Yeah. I'll start with Gauteng, for instance, which caters for Limpopo and Northwest. In the website.
Quite a mammoth task you have there, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
All right, that was Themba Mthethwa, the Chief Ombudsman at the Community Schemes Ombud Service. And, you know, there are many faces to this new body, and if you live in a community scheme, you would do well to familiarize yourself with the work of the CSOS. Like he's just mentioned, their website address is www.csos.org.za.